Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? It's been quite a year, hasn't it? We're in 2025. I haven't done one of these in a while, you guys. Sorry about that. I have an excellent guest. She is fabulous. She is so patient with me because, boy, oh boy, I can't believe how rusty I am at this. But I'm glad I'm with her today. And she's my first guest of 2025 because she's so understanding. She's so cool. We're having a little fun behind the scenes before we got started. So dancing a little and so thank you, Emily. So now what I'm going to do is say, hey, and I want you please to meet our first guest of 2025. Her name is Emily Woodman-Nance. And so I want to just tell you a little, give you a little brief bio about Emily Woodman-Nance. She is very accomplished. I'm grateful she is here. Her energy is inspirational and aspirational. And I'm just grateful that she decided to spend some time with us today. So, Emily Woodman-Nance, PMP, CPC, CSM is the CEO and co founder of At Their Side, a HIPAA compliant 24/7 healthcare status platform that enables healthcare providers to communicate with families. With over 20 years of technology and engineering experience, Emily has a diverse work history ranging from working for Big Four consulting and Fortune 500 companies to delivering technical solutions utilized in private sector industries and the FBI. Emily holds certifications from Cornell and UCLA and is an AI consultant. A former president of the International Coaching Federation Orange County chapter, she now serves as a commissioner on the City of Long Beach Technology and Innovation Commission. Emily has consistently held a deep affection and reverence for her elders, making her advocacy for elders with At Their Side a natural choice. Welcome, Emily. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're so cool. When I read, yes, I had to read the bio, everybody. I did because it's so impressive and I didn't want to leave anything out. And so, Emily, I'm
Mhm.
just again in awe of you and the work you're doing, the work you've done. You blow me away. And you have so much time still for other things outside of your work life. So I'm going to ask you, I'm going to like now basically close my mouth
Mhm.
and I'm going to first ask you, please, to tell us a little bit more about you personally. Thank you.
All right. Well, Stacey, I'm so happy to be here. And as far as me personally, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, um, and I love to have fun and I love to laugh. You probably know that by now. I really do enjoy that. I love running. And one thing that I really love, and I don't know, I may actually do it during this conversation. You never know. When I'm talking to people, I may just break out in a song.
Oh,
I
I
do
want
that
to
kind of
break
thing.
out
All of
this
a sudden, I start singing my answer. I I love I love doing that. And then a part of me, I just love seeing people just reach their highest potential. So I find myself mentoring a youth in some capacity here and there. At least once a year, I find one that I can actually take under my wing. So that's a little bit about me.
That is so cool. I mean, please, if you don't mind expanding on mentorship, when did you decide to start mentoring someone, or uh, was it something that was inside you? You said, listen, I need to reach back and give. Was it, what inspired you to become a mentor?
You know what, Stacey? That's a very good question. I think inside of me, I've always been like a mentor where I wanted to help each other. I think it probably goes back when I was in like elementary, middle school, when I was like a peer tutor. I did that. But also like through my professional career, I always took like someone under my wing and I mentored them and I helped them out. So I think it's just something innate in me to just want to share what I have with others so they could like I said, reach their highest potential and then pay it forward. They could help
Yeah.
somebody else. So I'm all into teaching people how to fish
Yes, that is
and
so cool.
others.
Thank you for doing
Mhm.
that, Emily, because I think that is so important, so necessary. I think about listening to people who have really impacted others, right, and throughout history, and what they always say, the ones that really have that deep impact, they always say, "I reached back, right, and pulls others. I opened the door so others could rush through, right." Could
Mhm.
so I think it's so important, and mentorship is part of that. When we don't have it sometimes, and I know as an adult, in my ripe old age, that mentorship is still important to me. So thank you for doing that. Also, I want to talk about something I don't know if you brought up, but something we talked about in the prior.
Uh-huh.
That is running.
Oh
Running.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Tell us about
Yeah.
running.
Yeah, it's just in me. And I just love being in the outdoors. And then I'm gonna tell you, when I'm running, I imagine myself being in an open field, just running. Uh, yeah, it's like a safari. I got all the wild animals out
Yes.
there, the zebras, the giraffes, everything. And I'm running. And it's always in this nice little red shorts and red top with my red shoes. So I'm in good.
Hiya.
So I'm having a good time. So yeah, for years I ran like half marathons. So now what I do, because let me just tell you, when you run a half marathon, you gotta train for that, and it takes a lot of time to like keep that up. And so now what I do, I run 5Ks, like 3.1 mile type races. So I'm like, okay, I can manage that. That's no big deal.
Nice, nice, Emily,
Mhm.
and thank you for turning me on to the group about running. If you're going from couch, when you're just
Yeah,
beginning.
couch to 5K. I'm telling you, it works.
Yes, yes. So thank you
It
for that.
works. You're welcome.
So now let's talk a little bit more about your professional life. What's going on with
Yeah.
that? Tell us a little more. Let's dig a little deeper there.
Okay, so my professional life. So I'll talk about what I'm doing right now, and I
Yes,
could talk about
please.
some other things too,
Yeah,
if you would like. But right
yeah.
now, what I'm doing, as you eloquently stated in the beginning, that I'm the
Thank
CEO
you.
and co-founder of At Their Side, and what we do, we provide this 24/7 healthcare status platform, and it's for healthcare providers to like easily and efficiently communicate to family members. And so what I'm really focused on are our seniors that are in long-term care facilities, facilitating that communication where their family members know what's going on with them, where their family members actually have that peace of mind and that
Yeah,
information that they need, and also to alleviate the amount of time that the staff spends giving these updates over the phone, or when they're in, or even when they come in person. And so this reverence and this love that I have for it really goes back to my childhood, for the love that I had for my grandparents.
yeah.
I loved them
Nice.
so much. And then my parents, see, my parents were older parents, and in a lot of the when I was growing up, a lot of the kids, they thought they were my grandparents. And it's like, I just had love for them. And it's like when I was like 6 years old, I wrote how when I was going to grow up that I was going to take care of my parents because I felt that was so important. And I'm so thankful I was able to live through that and actually take care of each one of them. And I even quit my jobs. I did. I quit my jobs each time to actually take care of them and be there. But a lot of people aren't able to do that. So that's why I'm like at their side is here because if you're in a facility, if your loved one is in a facility, at least you can get that information and still be connected to them as if you were at their side. And so
Beautiful.
yeah, and the reason I created it is because we had the situation with my mother-in-law. She lives 2,000 miles away from us, and it just reached that point where she really needs some skilled nursing. So we ended up putting her in that skilled nursing facility and then just being challenged with getting those updates. And I'm like, wait a minute, I have a background in technology and engineering. Why don't I develop a platform? And
Yes.
that's where At Their Side came about because we want family members to know it doesn't matter whether your loved one is around the corner or um,
That's right.
are 2,000 miles away. No matter where they are, you'll always be at their side. So there you have it.
That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Um, I remember when my father was in a nursing home facility because he had gone through many healthcare issues in a very short period of time, and so something like At Their Side would have been wonderful. We were running every day, like each of us would take a day to go there because we needed to be there. We knew that we could
Mhm.
not like lax for 1 second, right? Because they needed to know that someone was there. And so some for
Mhm.
that person, because it was like a step up of, the attention, not necessarily the attention. Well, yeah, the attention they were given. So something like
Mhm.
At Their Side is phenomenal, phenomenal. What do your clients say about it? Because I know listening to At Their Side, you talking about At Their Side, and if we had had that, it would have been a really different experience for us. Don't
Mhm.
get me wrong, of course, yes, we
Yeah.
love going visiting our father like every day, but at some point in time, what happens is you get a little, it takes a toll and you
Mhm.
need that rest. And if we could have had again At Their Side, we could have sort of taken a step back once in a while, but we couldn't. So please talk to me about what your customers and your clients say about At Their Side and how it changes their lives and their loved ones' lives.
Yeah. So as far as the family members,
Hmm.
they love At Their Side. I I want to talk about one conversation that I had with one family member. She was just getting access to At Their Side, and I was talking to her, and then as soon as her husband's information came up. She said, "Oh my goodness, I have my husband's information right here. I have everything. I see what's going on with him." And she was
Yeah.
she was just
Yes.
so elated that she had that and that she would be able to see that on a daily on a daily
Yes.
basis. And
Yes.
bigger than that, with At Their Side, like say for instance, you do have all these family members, they may all be going there to see the loved one, or they may just want updates instead of
Right.
you who has like the power of attorney
Yes.
texting or call them and tell them. You could just share At Their Side with them, and
Oh
then they could have whatever information you want them to have. You could limit what they see, but you don't have to do all of that. It's like is right at their fingertips. So as you get the information, they get it too.
oh, that is so good. So good,
Mhm.
Emily. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it works out
Well,
well. And the facilities love it too, because
oh
just think about it. For like blood sugar readings, those happen
yes.
4 times a day. And could you imagine families calling 4 times a day asking for those blood readings? They do.
They do, because
Yeah, but
we
now they can just see them on at their side, so they don't have to call. So yeah.
that is fabulous. Yeah, so we
Mhm.
had similar because of my father's renal condition, kidney condition, and renal failure. So we had a similar situation. So knowing those, stats would have been, again, instead of calling, because that, woo, again, takes a toll. You're calling the doctor, you're calling the facility, you're like all of these things, and still
Mhm.
trying to give all your love and attention to your loved one, your family member, and still doing all of this at the same time. So again, at their side, when you can just pick up something and go, okay, yes. And so then again, your attention could go to your family member, your loved one, whoever it is. And so you don't have to um, put that energy somewhere else. So thank you.
Mhm. Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Mhm.
So let's go into something that we talked about ourselves, uh, active listening, because that's what I do. And because you do all the things that you do, you have such a keen sense. When I was talking to you, I was like, she understands it, she gets it. There, I do not have to explain anything to Emily. She knows. And so we started to have a conversation about active listening because you asked me about coaching, and I was explaining to you about how I'm really in the arena of active listening and getting the word out. And you were saying, and I thank you for that. You're like, I understand. So in that conversation, we were talking about the impact um, of active listening. So let's talk about that, and how does active listening um, impact your life, both personally and professionally?
Oh wow. Yeah, I love to share that because active listening is important. And for me, this is the way I describe it to put it in the simplest terms for active listening. What I do is really giving someone your undivided attention. Because I don't know if you've ever talked to someone, Stacy, and you're like telling them all these things that are going on with you, you're emotional, and then someone else comes up there and then all of a sudden they just break the conversation from you and say, oh, hi, how you doing? And it was like, so it's like really giving that person your
Yes, I've been
undivided
there.
attention. You're not thinking about what you're going to say next or anything. You're being very observant as to what they, reading between the lines. What are they really saying? And observing their body movements and what they aren't, really saying.
Yes,
So so that's important with with the active listening. So I use that, and then with the active listening, I got my undivided attention, right? And
yes.
then I'm really listening to the person, and the person knows that I'm listening to them. And you want to know how they know, Stacy?
How, Emily, please tell me how. To us, how? Yes.
Just like you did, you just paraphrase or rephrase what I said. Tell them how, because you're regurgitating or taking part of what they said and giving
Yes.
it back to them, so they're like, okay, you're listening. And then
Yes.
you can ask questions. You're open-ended questions, and then you can
Yes. Yes.
validate them for what they're saying and how they're feeling. So how do I use this personally? Put it this way, because I did some coach training. I did coach
Yes, you did.
training,
Yes.
and that was like, ooh, it was like a while back. I did my coach training. Anyway, I guess when I used to talk to my husband, I just used to hear womp 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 womp, right? And then my response would be like, okay, or whatever. And I really didn't hear him. And then while I was doing the training, You know what he said? What he said to
What
me?
did he say? What did he say, Emily?
He said, "You're really listening."
Mm,
because I because I used that. I had it in me where
yes,
I gave him my undivided attention, where I made him know that I was listening because I repeated or rephrased what he said. I
yes.
asked him those open-ended questions and I validated what he was
There
saying.
you
And
go.
I was like, I'm on to something here. That's when I knew
Exactly.
it. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes, Emily. It makes a difference. People know. They know. They know. They know.
Mm-hmm. And
Yes.
people want to be heard. They want people
Yes.
to hear their opinion. You don't have to agree with them or anything,
No.
but it's we all know that's an act of love. You know, just
I'll never forget. Thank you, because you just gave me thank you, because I want to thank you. We in our conversation we are talking about active listening. You said to me, listening is an act of love. And the light bulb went off in my head. I was like, that's it. I was like, Emily, I need that. Can I take it?
Mhm.
So I'm gonna give you all credit for that. So now it's my tagline on my website. I'm actually going to change the tagline on my thoughtful listener that says thoughtful listener, but listening is an act of love, because it is absolutely true. It is, when you said that, I was like, thank you. It is so beautiful. It's so true. It hits home in a way that nothing
Mhm.
else does, because listening, active listening, listening is an act of love. When you listen to
Mhm.
someone, you're absolutely right. You show them that they matter,
Mhm.
that they
You
matter.
do. You really do. And it remind me of what Maya Angelou said. People won't remember what you said or what you did, but how you made them feel. And then they're
That
gonna feel that love. They're gonna feel appreciated.
that's
And
right.
that's important to me because I want people to feel heard, loved, and appreciated.
Yes, it's so important. It is so
Mhm.
important, especially in the climate that we live in today.
Mhm.
So many people need to be heard. They want to be heard. Uh, Also, we talk about this too, about active listening being reciprocal. It's reciprocity. When you give that to someone, you teach them how to give that back to you, and so you
Mhm.
take it out in the world, and it just gets better and better and better. I have a friend who attended one of my, or several of my, uh, workshops and presentations, and she said, Stacy, and she works at a facility with young, yeah, organization with the young folk, and she said, Stacy, I implemented what you said. She said, now they call me this. She said, Miss, they all run to her with everything, with all their problems, and she goes, Stacy, yes, it's a blessing.
Yes, that's what happens. And people
That's
just
what,
open up to you quickly. And I'm like,
yes,
people tell you stuff because I'm like, I just met you, and they just open up because they know that you care
yes,
and they feel the love. They feel the
yes, they
love.
do. They do. Does
Mhm.
this ring true also in your professional arena, in the professional arena for you in your professional life?
It what I'm doing currently now with at their side, just dealing with the facilities,
Yes.
um, listening to what's going on with them, how to reduce the amount of time that they spend on like manual task. Um, Also, how they want to give that care to to the actual residents that are in the facilities and to the
Yes.
family. So that pays off. So they tell me that they they love at their side because of that, because I'm really in tune with them, and I get them, and it's the same way with the family members. So yeah, just listening. That active listening is crucial, and even before I got into at their side in
Yes.
my professional career, active listening helped. Because I was like a technical project manager. And I remember at this one job, the manager would always take me to speak to the director. She would take me with her because she said, Emily, I don't know what he I don't know what he's saying. I don't know what he's requesting. And I would go there. She said, how did you get that? How did you understand it? And basically what it was, I was using that active listening. And at
Yes.
that time, I it wasn't even fully it wasn't even fully
Right.
developed,
Yes.
but
Yes.
I was able to understand exactly what he needed, and then we were able to actually develop it and give him what he wanted. And he was so happy. He even invited me to like a director event and everything, and was telling people
Wonderful.
about me. But yeah, it is because of that. And it's helped me all the time, with some people that people would call difficult, or or they said it would be like pulling teeth to get information out of them. And they were like, they would come in my office and like, how do you do it? What's your secret?
Right.
And
Right.
I'm like, I just meet people where they are and I
That's
listen.
it. That's it. That's it. It's a game changer. And I say that, and I know some people probably say, oh, that's so cheesy. No, I'm telling you, it's a game changer. It changes the atmosphere. It changes how you relate to one another. It changes how you form meaningful connections. It makes a difference. It really does. Yeah.
Mhm.
Game changer.
Mhm.
Hmm.
It makes a big difference. In all aspects of your life. That's why I tell people it's not just personal or professional, it's both, because it's
Both.
going to change you as a human being and how you operate. So it's like within you. And in the other thing that I like about active listening, this is what I like so much. You don't have to be thinking, okay, what's the next question I'm going to ask? It just comes because you are so ingrained and giving yourself to that other person, to
Yes.
what they are sharing. It naturally comes out. So it's like easy.
I love
All that
it.
burden is gone because it's smooth sailing.
Exactly. That's exactly how I tell people when I talk to them at presentations or workshops. I say, you know what? It frees you. You are liberated because you don't have to be the smartest person in the room. You don't have to be that person's advisor. You don't have to be that person's counselor. All you have to do is show up, actively listen, learn the skill of active listening, because there's a skill, right? Like there are
Hmm.
steps to it, and you have to learn
Right.
it, 'cause it doesn't come easy because we haven't been taught that in school systems. Not your fault, not blaming the school system, but there's something that's that deep part of the foundation of communication that's missing, and that's
Mhm.
listening, especially active listening. And when we change that, we change people's lives and we change how we relate to each other.
I
It
agree because I even through Cal State, one of the Cal State universities, I taught basic coaching skills through their HR certification program, just
nice.
teaching the next HR folks. You know, you gotta learn these active, what active listening is, and get it all ingrained inside of you because it's going to help you on the
It
long
certainly
haul.
does.
So yeah, so yep, so help me with that and with my AI consulting too.
Ooh,
Um, active active listening, really finding out what people our business leaders really are trying to do and what their blocks are, and the best way I could help them address that. So yeah, so that's it in a nutshell.
thank you for sharing that, because I wondered how AI and active listening connects, because I don't necessarily see, the connection, but I didn't realize that.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to help the folks if you don't really understand them or hit it.
Right.
It may be a hit or miss, and that's why
Right.
some people miss a lot because they
Yeah.
don't utilize the active listening skills.
So it does have. everyone who's running to AI, remember there's a place for active listening in AI as well. You have to have it, the skill. It's important. It's important. Yep.
Mhm.
Even in the AI world, right? Yeah.
Yep, it's important.
Yeah. So, Emily, as we are winding down,
Wow.
this has been a joy and you're so fun. I can go on forever, but I want to respect your time and respect the viewers' time. So the audience time. So tell us what's going on. What do you want to share with us? I don't care if it's wisdom, insight, what you're doing in your company, where we can reach you and contact you, all of it. And the other question I have is at their side worldwide, in the nation or in the state? Talk to us about that, please.
Okay. Well, all right. I have a variety of things that I would like to share. First of all, this is a word of wisdom that I want to share. That it's really a quote from Theodore Roosevelt. That comparison is the thief of joy. So I just want to tell all of you out there, please stop comparing yourself with others and focus on what you really want to do and run your own race at your own pace.
Beautiful.
So I want to share that. And then as far as at their side, we're working right now. We're focused. I shouldn't say focused. We're currently in the southern part of the United States, and we're working on growing and being all throughout the United States. So if you want more information, you can go to atheirside.com and get more information about how you can have at their side in your local long-term care facility. So you can do that. And um, and again, I just want to tell people active listening is very important. Sometimes what I do, because there's always a lot of noise, you see a lot of things, you're hearing a lot of things going in your head. And I wish I would have had them with me earlier. I have what I call listening ears that I made that
Oh,
I
that's
put
so
on.
cool, Emily.
I
I
put it
love
on
this.
so that way I'm really in tune and that I'm listening. Or sometimes what I might do, I put on a cap because they were making fun of me. I mean, all day yesterday I wore a cap because I'm like, I need to have some heightened active listening here. And I do that to just be in tune to what's going on around me and with others, not just me. And I guess I was so in tune. My son, he was like way in the back of the house. He's like, okay, how did you hear that? He just went, hmm. He said, it's so heightened. He's like, I said, yeah. I felt that I needed to like heighten that level of active listening. And it really pays off. So I just want to tell your viewers to actually look up active listening,
Yes.
start practicing it, and see how it's going to change your life for the better. I mean, you already have a good life, but it's going to be a life beyond your wildest dreams. And I feel that's what I'm living because of active listening.
Oh, that's that's where we're going to end. There's nothing else for me to say. Emily just said it all. There we go. Emily, thank you so much for being a guest. Thank you for all of your wisdom, your insights, for sharing yourself with us and your experiences personally and professionally. You have so much to give, and you make me laugh, and you make me feel comfortable, and I'm just so grateful that we connected and we're doing this podcast, and hopefully we'll be able to do something else in the future. But right now, I'm just grateful for this time, and thank you for being a guest.
Thank you, Stacy.
You're welcome. Thank you. Take care, everyone. Remember, happy, thoughtful listening.